welcome back to the Macrocast, your source for news and entertainment with the minds behind Macro Records. We're your hosts. I'm Manson.
I'm Downlow'd. Welcome back.
We have some great topics for you this week.
It's been an exciting week.
We're going to be talking about some TV stuff, some advancements in video games, movies.
Some legal stuff.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
We're going to be talking about the invention of the light bulb.
Most attribute it to Thomas Edison. Most don't know he stole all his ideas from Nikola Tesla.
He actually stole his ideas from Thomas Jefferson.
What?
And,
no.
Yeah, Thomas Jefferson invented the light bulb. Before we jump in, we'd like to go ahead and tell you guys to go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. Leave a review if you can, if you enjoy it.
If you leave a review on iTunes, we'll make sure to read it out on the show. So don't forget to go do that and get your comments read out on the show. If you want to tweet us at Macro Records and use the hashtag #TheMacroCast so we know you're tweeting about the show. And, just drop us a message, some comments or anything about the previous episode or anything you want us to talk about in upcoming episodes. And we'll make sure to mention it on the show.
And check out our Facebook page for more information about the stuff that we talk about on the show as well. We're really vamping that up, so go ahead and like it if you can.
It's facebook.com/TheMacroCast.
And let's go.
So
into the podcast deeper.
We only have one real world news topic this week, really, kind of. And it's, the man in yellow, Hulk Hogan, thinks that he should be Donald Trump's running mate if he wins the Republican primary nomination.
Shit, I'd vote then.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
I'd just vote for Hulk Hollywood Hogan.
No.
No?
No.
Dude.
I mean, no.
You're not... Yeah, are you going to vote for Ernie?
No.
Ernie Anders?
Ernie
Clint?
I mean...
Clipsters?
I do like some of the ideas Bernie Sanders has, but his foreign policy is too weak.
I'm gonna vote for Arnold
Like
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, he can't run.
Maybe D's nuts.
D's nuts. We talked about that last week too.
Yeah. There is a lot of other real world news going on, but none of it that's really worth talking about.
It's
all kind of depressing.
We can give
Stock market crashed.
Well, it's already bounced back pretty much.
Not all the way. Not
the
even close.
The U.S. stock market has.
Okay.
It has.
It hasn't, but okay.
Okay.
I mean, I'm the only reason I know this is because I have money in the stock market and I check it frequently, and it's not nearly close to where it was in July.
I mean, if you're looking at one particular stock, you may not see that. But
I'm talking about the Dow Jones.
Entire index.
Talking about the Dow Jones,
which is one of the smallest indexes there is. The Dow Jones is only 10 companies, dude.
I mean, it's
a very minuscule representation of the economy as a whole.
Okay.
The S&P 500 has 500 companies, so it's you're getting a little bit of a better view of the economy as a whole with that index. But
as a whole?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Have you seen that bullshit that's always on Facebook that's fear of holes, and it's this chick with
trypophobia.
Yeah, that shit on her hand looks weird, man. Gotta tell you.
So maybe you have trypophobia.
Well, I mean, I'm not scared of it. It kind of trips me out.
There are photos of there's an entire subreddit dedicated to that, where there are photos of, I don't know, there's just holes in things or things that are photoshopped to make it look like there's holes in them.
It's there's an insect nest growing on their hand.
Well, have you ever heard what chiggers are?
Chiggers?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Chiggers are insects that sburrow into your skin,
awful.
And they leave they make your it looks like a hive.
Oh, that's fucked.
Yeah, it's really gross.
I was stung by a wasp this week.
Oh, really?
I took pictures. It was the most fucked up experience ever. I was just sitting at home on my couch, getting some work done on my
computer.
Inside, man. And I feel something on my arm. And I'm like, what the fuck? I thought it was a fly or something. So I kind of brushed it away, and I felt how big it was, and I realized what the fuck it was, and it was a wasp. So after I knocked it away, it was no, it couldn't fly. It was crawling on the ground. So it must have crawled up me, and I don't think it
crawled up you.
I don't think it had its entire strength because it didn't break the skin or anything, and I didn't swell up. I don't think he fully stung me, but I definitely felt him, and I smashed him.
So you didn't really get stung by a wasp?
I was freaking out because
Did it hurt?
Yeah, I had pain in my arm. So that's
Maybe you were having a heart attack.
No, that's the left arm, dude. I was stung on the right arm.
Maybe you were having a stroke.
No, that's the smell of burnt toast.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a wasp-inspired
Well,
thing.
I got pictures of them. You want to see them?
No.
Yeah, come on.
Okay.
So just take a look at them.
Dude, that's not a wasp. It's a brown recluse spider, bro. You don't know your insects.
I actually went to Reddit and was trying to get people to identify it. No one said anything.
Oh, God. Holy shit.
No one said anything, but I'm pretty
that
sure
is definitely a wasp.
It's just a common, like, social wasp. Like the most,
social wasp?
That's what they're called.
That's like what... social wasps are like people that live in fucking the Hamptons.
White Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
Anglo-Saxon?
That's what WASP stands for, the other term, WASP.
Really?
Yeah, White Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Really?
Yes.
I thought it was like wealthy something.
It is. It's wealthy people, but it stands for White Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Is this the only picture that you have of it? I just want to
if
zoom
you
in
swipe
on
back to... There's some other pictures. I think I took a video, too.
Yeah, that's definitely a video. Why did you take... You took a really short video of just, like, you hovering over this... It was a discolored wasp.
Yeah, that's why... well, it definitely wasn't a yellow jacket or anything like that, because those have much more vibrant colors.
I heard that yellow jackets are less aggressive than wasps. Than regular wasps.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. That's just what I heard.
Well, I mean, the research I was doing was mostly about if you get stung by one, which seems to be not a huge deal. Like,
where were you on, like, WebMD?
They were like, you should only go to the hospital if you were stung by a swarm or if you have an allergic reaction. So,
I mean, the allergic reaction could still happen.
This far?
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Yeah, that's why.
You took that seriously, though. You were kind of like, oh, shit.
Yeah, no,
Maybe
now you got me scared again.
I should go to the hospital right now. My left arm is hurting now.
But, you know...
That's your heart.
Normally, if it was like... I probably would have tried to save him and get him outside.
Why?
But it was an aggressive wasp, and
Dude,
my
all
fight-or-flight instincts just kicked in, so I killed it.
All wasps are aggressive.
Yeah, but...
They're such dickheads, man.
But, apparently, like, these types of wasps, if you just leave them alone, chances are they're not going to do anything to you. But this fucker was in my house. He invaded my home.
He was on your person. Why was he being so invasive? Like, why was he like, I just want to, like, crawl all over you?
Well, obviously he was probably scared because he couldn't fucking fly, you know?
Why couldn't he fly?
His wings were damaged.
Oh, really?
Did you see in that picture? It looked like he had 3 wings instead of just 2. It looked like his wings were fucked up.
I mean, aren't, like, some insects, don't they have, like, dual layers of wings? Like, some butterflies have, like, like this.
Really? Like redundant wings?
No, it's not like redundant, but it's like...
Well, lots of insects have redundancies.
They use them.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh yeah, well we've got this other wing for like whatever, you know.
Well, if the first one's damaged.
No, that's not how it works. I saw this video of this guy repairing a butterfly's wings, and he would it was a really bizarre like hobby for this dude, but he was like, this is how you can repair a butterfly's wings. So if you for some reason saw a butterfly on the floor and you were like, okay, I'm gonna bring it inside, then he like repaired it with a little bit of like of plastic or something rather, and just like super glued it to the butterfly's wing, and it was like flying around. It was like, kind of lopsided, but he was like, now the butterfly can fly again. So
be free, butterfly.
He was like, you have to be really careful to not, like, you have to like blow on the butterfly and do all kinds of stuff to make sure it doesn't like stick to the towel that you're like on. So it's not like, oh fuck,
and then it's just super glued to a towel.
It goes from like one bad situation to an even worse one.
Did you see that video on Reddit this week of some sort of Japanese mantis, like a huge one? It's friendly, but
did it look like a wasp?
No, it was. It looked like a giant praying mantis, but
like how big? Like 3 or 4 feet?
Whoa, okay, that's huge. No,
that would eat your child.
I'm talking about maybe 10 inches. So like,
damn, that's still a really that could probably eat your penis.
It was. I don't think it was aggressive. Like it was this person's pet.
Yeah, it's not aggressive until it just bites down on your dick.
But apparently, she took a video of it when it was like. Showing, I guess is what they call it. So like he's like,
it was like an exhibitionist.
If he thinks he's in danger or something, like he makes himself look bigger than he actually is with like these flaps and whatnot. It was crazy though. Huge,
and a hat.
Huge mantis.
Okay,
yeah,
that's pretty wild. I didn't. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's like gigantic versions of everything somewhere. We've yet to find the like
Gigantus mantis.
Yeah, we've yet to find like the 3-foot large spider.
Oh, like the ones they have in Australia?
No, those aren't 3 feet. You're talking about like huntsman spiders.
The ones that are like this big.
No, there's no spiders that big.
Yes, dude. Yes.
You're thinking of crabs.
No, in Australia they get spiders this big.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
There's no such thing as a... Okay, just so you know, he's making like a size like that's more than 2 feet.
No, it's not. This is like 2
You
feet.
did it bigger right now.
Look,
That's like 3 feet. That's like 3 feet of spider.
It's like two and a third.
Okay,
2 1/3
all right.
foots.
Okay, you did the math. All right. Yeah, there's no spider that's that big anywhere.
But what are those giant ones they have in Australia?
Those are huntsman spiders, and like they're the size of like a dish.
Oh, that's pretty huge.
But their bodies are small, but it's the legs that are really big. And typically, you would see them like crawling on your roof or whatever. They just chill.
They're the
really
world's
fast.
largest spider, right?
I think there may be one that might be bigger as far as like size goes. I think that's the Goliath bird-eating spider.
Oh shit!
But that's just
sounds hardcore.
In terms of size, as far as its body goes, it's larger. But the legs are not as big as the huntsman spider, and it's not as fast.
The huntsman spiders can move up to 1 meter per second.
They're super fast.
Yeah, that's scary fast, dude.
Yeah, they're crazy. But I mean, if there was any kind of spider, like typically spiders like to move pretty fast too, like general like spiders, you know, like if there was a spider that was like 3 feet large, it would probably move much faster than 1 meter per second.
Yeah,
and it would be a scary situation.
Like that terrible movie with Sean Astin Scott.
What you're talking about? You're talking what?
Eight-legged
It was
freaks.
Sean William Scott.
Sean William Scott.
Yeah. You merged 2 actors right now.
It happens.
Yeah, totally. It was 8-legged freaks. Yeah. I watched some of that like probably a year and a half ago, and I was like, wow,
it's a sci-fi quality movie.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
It's like up there with Sharknado, though. I would even venture to say Sharknado is probably better.
I don't like Sharknado.
Did you watch Arachnophobia back in the day? Tom Arnold, I'm pretty sure, is in that.
I don't know.
That was about huge spiders as well.
Was that also like a sci-fi movie?
No, that was like a major motion
feature
picture.
film. Yeah.
But that movie like made a lot of money. It's still not a very good movie. Like if your topic or like the premise of your movie is like, okay, we have just huge spiders. You know?
So it's huge spiders attacking Tom Arnold.
I mean, that's like I think Tom Arnold is like the pest guy, but sci-fi movies like that have gone back a long ways. Like, there's always been like Attack of the Giant Ant, or the huge.
People
spider.
love to make things giant.
Wasn't there a huge
Mothra, Godzilla?
Wasn't there a huge spider in Godzilla too?
There's Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, Mothra. What's
the new Godzilla movie was not good either.
Still in my DVR. Still haven't watched it.
I was watching. I don't know if I talked about this recently, but I watched this coffee run that Deadmau5 did with Dylan Francis and Skrillex, and Dylan Francis was like, "Hey, you seen the new Godzilla?" It was like right around the time it came out, and Deadmau5 was like, "Nah." He was like, "Yeah, don't watch it."
Yeah, it's
really
not
bad.
Good. Let's talk some movies though. So we saw a preview for what Michael Fassbender looks like in costume for the new Assassin's Creed movie.
He looks cloaked.
It looks really good.
He looks like a priest.
I was surprised when I saw it to see how faithful it was to the game. And
was
to
he
the
also
source
in
material.
Priest? That movie Priest?
No. Priest was Carl Urban and Paul Bettany.
Keith Urban?
No, Carl Urban.
Oh.
The guy,
not the country singer.
The guy from Lord of the Rings and Dredd and Star Trek. Yeah.
Who did he play in Lord of the Rings?
Aramir's nephew.
So it was like a smaller
the
part.
King of Rohan. No, it was a pretty big part.
Did you ever watch Lord of the G-Strings?
No, I don't think
that was a Skinamax movie.
But yeah, Michael Fassbender looks great in costume. People are hopeful that this is going to be the first good video game adaptation of a movie. I hope so too.
There's been some other ones?
Nothing good.
What other video game adaptations have there been?
I mean, there's Mortal Kombat, Hitman, I guess Street Fighter. You know, like they've never really done anything this.
There's got to be one that's been pretty good. No?
No.
You can't think of one off the top of your head.
Silent Hill, terrible. The first Resident Evil was okay, but it wasn't a true. Like,
it was entertaining, but it wasn't like a movie where you're like, damn.
And it wasn't very true
That
to
was
the
a
source
thick-ass
material.
movie.
Like,
Yeah.
it was the same world, but too much of the stuff was different to even compare it to the video games.
Oh man, that's really tough. There's Jaws. That was a great video game.
No, but that was a movie first.
E.T.
Movie first.
That was a great video game.
That was a movie first.
It was a terrible video game.
Yeah. Why did Steven Spielberg even sign off on that? Did he just not know what he was doing, or like?
No, I think that the whole reason why why that video game failed was because they just rushed it. They said that
it was made in 4 weeks, dude.
They needed to get it out
by one programmer
in time for like Christmas.
But either way, like so that guy, his life was ruined by that shit. Like
by that fucking alien in a basket.
If you guys watch Atari Game Over, it's a really good documentary. I highly recommend it. It talks about how that guy, like after that, his life was fucked. His career was over.
Well, he's now a psychiatrist.
Yeah. So like he totally
and he only like treats himself. Because he's so fucked up from all of that.
In reality,
that's not true.
It was the rest of the industry as a whole that deserved to be, blamed for that shit. Not the designer who was able to put something together in 4 weeks.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault, but I don't know if it was the rest of the industry. I think it was the movie industry that's more to blame. Because
he showed it to Steven Spielberg. Like, he took a jet out, met Steven Spielberg, and showed it to him. And Steven Spielberg is like, okay, this is good. Put it out.
I think that they didn't have much time, so he was like, realistically, yeah, okay, this is what you're going with. Fine, let's do it. Like, we need something like. Wasn't the success of E.T. kind of like people didn't really expect it to be a humongous success anyway?
I don't know.
I don't think that people really.
Really?
I think that was one of the movies that kind of paved the way for Steven Spielberg to be the enormous director that he is. Because
it did become somewhat of a cult classic and like revered by many.
It wasn't even just a cult classic. It was a box office like smash.
Yeah,
like people loved that movie. And I think that the studio was like, well, since people love this movie so much and it was a summer hit, we need to get out a video game for Christmas, and everyone's playing the Atari. And then E.T. came out and it fucking ruined the Atari, like, single-handedly.
And, they were talking about
really
this
funny.
on another podcast. I'm so glad they don't do that shit anymore. Like, when's the last time you saw a movie get its own companion video game title? Like, it's such a shitty idea.
No, I don't think so. I think that
it's bad.
I don't think it's a shitty.
Would you have rather had like The Dark Knight, the video game, as opposed to the Arkham games? Or
but I don't think that it's a bad idea. I think that the bad idea there is like trying to rush anything. Like trying to rush a movie to get it out at by a certain time is bad.
But I'm talking about like putting a video game behind the restrictions of a film. Like,
it should have a different story.
But see, that's what these companion titles weren't. Like,
It should expand on the story too. Like, I mean, there should be more content in the video game than in the movie because you're going to spend more time playing it.
Yeah.
You're going to play a video game for hours and hours and hours, right? So when you watch a movie, you're restricted to the plot and what will hold your interest for the time that your ass is going to fall asleep in a theater or whatever,
Yeah.
So, but I don't think that it's necessarily a bad idea. I think that there are great stories out there, and there's like a lot of movies that don't expand on stuff. I would like to play like a Green Arrow game, not necessarily based around the events that have already happened in the show, but
Rocksteady just needs to make a Green Arrow game, and it needs to combine like some of the brawling stuff from the Arkham games with actual archery and trick shots and like everything cool about Green Arrow. It can't just be like a clone of the Batman game,
Nah, yeah, there should be like a good story too.
Yeah,
like it could borrow from some of the stuff that's happened in the show, like Deathstroke and stuff like that. Like I kind of like that. Because Green Arrow's villains are pretty kind of, I don't know, I'm not like really that. He's got like Count Vertigo.
I mean,
there's like
Count Vertigo and Merlin, and
Merlin is like kind of like.
Those
which
are
is all right.
His big
that's
big ones.
Which is cool. I mean, really, Green Arrow became a much cooler character because of the show. Yeah. In my opinion, like. He was cool in the comics, but
you need to have they need to have sidekick too, and like you need to be able to switch between Speedy and Green Arrow, I think. And
I mean, if they incorporated bits of like all of the lore in there, because it's so Green Arrow is so wrapped up in the rest of the DC universe, like Arsenal and then Cheshire and the Titans and then Deathstroke and all that good stuff, you know.
Well, and they could make they could tie one big story in with multiple video games, like.
One huge overlying story arc between like Arkham and between all this other shit.
Yeah, and
that would be sick.
Events of Green Arrow are gonna decide what the events of the next video game are gonna be shaped like, and
you know what they've never done is a good Superman game.
Yeah,
they've always fucked it up.
Well,
Fly through the rings, like
Superman 64.
Oh man,
which is
that's
like one of the most hated games of all
almost
time.
As much as that ET game. That is a game that it's a good thing that N64 had like Mario and like these other games, because that game made me want to just smash my fucking console.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. You could do kind of a lot with the Superman game. But, I mean, Brainiac and Superman has good rogues.
Yeah.
And then the Flash, but you said that you wouldn't play a Flash game because it would just be like running around.
Well, I mean, it could be cool, like if you actually.
It would have to be super open world, like
yeah, like how much room do you need to be a speedster in a video game? You know.
Well, seeing as the Flash can run across the entire Earth in like a second, like, yeah, that's.
Yeah,
it would be kind of hard to control him too. I feel like you would like just press forward and he like runs across the Earth.
He'd have to be significantly slowed down, or you'd have to be able to, like, you may be running fast, but what you're seeing on screen is Flash's brain, where he sees everything much slower.
Oh, okay.
Like, even though shit's happening really fast, he's analyzing it really slowly. You know.
You could solve like crimes though. It could be more of a detective style game.
But like there could be cool moves too. You could use like your arms to create like
wind
funnels and shit. And...
I mean, I feel like the very I don't know, and I'm not a game designer, so this might not be good. But like the very beginning of the game would be some smaller like tasks or something, like stopping some fucking blue collar, like, guys that are, some dude just like robbed some chick or something. So you have to like you have to stop him somehow, and then you have like the rogues, and then there's the future rogues, which are like a police force from the future, right? You read Flashpoint, didn't you?
No, I haven't read Flashpoint.
I'm reading the way up to Flashpoint right now, but yeah, there's rogues that are like it's not Captain Cold, it's like Colonel Cold or some shit, and like they're the exact same rogues basically, but they take up the mantle, but they're all cops from the future. So there could be, I mean, there's the Flash is super OP.
There's cool stuff you could do with it.
Wouldn't hate on that, or even an age, I don't know, like a Marvel, some kind of Marvel game would be kind of cool.
Not Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. though. You were about to say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah,
I don't
probably
think
not.
That would make
Dude,
a good video game.
Agent Carter. That would be even worse.
It's a period video game. Like, why don't...
Where
that's
she's
probably
like,
the shit they're gonna have Telltale make, dude.
Oh, that would be really bad. Telltale making an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. game wouldn't be so bad.
They signed a deal with Marvel.
Oh, really?
To make a couple video games, but I would like to see like something more gameplay focused as opposed to watch this story happen on a really shitty graphics engine. You know?
What if there was like something that was told from the villain's perspective?
It could be cool.
Like, what if you played as like a as Darkseid and you had to conquer the universe? But I mean, there's no way you could win.
Yeah.
Because then you win, you beat the game, and then suddenly your own universe just gets like turns into apocalypse. I mean, you become enslaved by Darkseid.
They could make a really awesome X-Men game.
Is Darkseid made of stone?
What?
Is he made of stone? He enslaves
you. He just
and
doesn't put lotion on.
Forces you to blow him.
Darkseid just he doesn't believe in.
Well,
lotion.
He lives in a world where Avon doesn't, or Olay doesn't exist.
Well, and he's surrounded by eternal flames,
hellfire. Yeah,
it gets
It can dry your skin out like a bitch.
Exactly. So let's talk about this Force Awakens teaser. It's only like 15 seconds, but we see Finn, which is John Boyega's character, and Kylo Ren about to duel in the middle of a snowy forest. And then we see some more of the First Order, which is the new Imperials or whatnot after the Emperor died.
This movie is coming out in December.
Yes.
It's going to be cool.
Very cool. There's
It'll be a blast.
There's so many good movies coming out this year. I'm looking forward to a lot of them.
What are the other ones?
Oh, there's tons.
Which ones?
Oh, I need to look at a list, but I know there
are just some good movies coming.
There are just some dang good movies coming out.
There's I can't even make up fake movies right now. I was gonna make up a fake movie.
No.
There's the new Ghostbusters. Well, that's not a movie.
Final Fantasy?
Did you ever watch the Final Fantasy movie? The Spirits Within.
Oh,
it was so
the
bad.
Animated movie?
That was so bad.
No,
that was not based on any story. I was gonna be all about that because I thought that it was like a Final Fantasy movie based on like Final Fantasy VII or something like that.
Okay, so
I think that could really work out.
So next week we get the new Transporter movie. Yeah.
That's not that dude. I can already guarantee you that Rotten Tomatoes is just gonna fucking spit that out.
September 18th, Black Mass and Everest come out. Have you seen the trailers for Black Mass?
Yes, that's with Johnny Depp, right?
As Whitey Bulger, yeah.
And I thought that it was I was like, is that a movie that they're making off of Ray Donovan?
No.
Yeah.
September 25th. Nothing really good. Sicario.
What the hell is that?
It's with Benicio del Toro and a couple other people.
Whatever.
October 2nd, The Martian, which actually looks okay.
Now it looks okay.
Well,
he's a Martian, damn it, dude.
My problem with it is it feels like they're just trying to do Interstellar over again.
It's gonna be like a really bad twist at the end. They're gonna be like, he was actually a Martian.
Please don't do that, because the twist at the end is what I hated most about Interstellar.
I haven't seen it.
Oh god, at the end of the movie,
they're all Martians.
No, they're like Matthew McConaughey's in an alternate dimension and he's communicating with his daughter. And I was like, what the fuck? This is so stupid.
And his shirt's been off in space and shit.
Oh, man.
Was his shirt off in space?
He's trapped in, the fifth dimension. He's like, I don't get it.
I don't get it. This is so weird.
So weird.
Dang.
October 9th, Steve Jobs.
What, is that a movie?
Yeah.
Ugh, I hope that they don't fuck it up like they did the Ashton Kutcher one. That was unwatchable.
October 16th.
Did you watch that?
No, I didn't. But I've heard it's bad.
I caught a bit of it on Netflix, and I was like, okay, thought that it was going to be pretty good in the very beginning, but it was just, who made the decision to cast Ashton Kutcher as Steve Jobs? A man who's 30 years his senior.
Well, and now it's Michael Fassbender. Speaking of Michael Fassbender again.
He's in just everything now.
Well, and he's 100 times a better actor than Ashton Kutcher.
But Michael Fassbender was not in 2.5 Men. I mean, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the Malcolm in the Middle?
Yes, I did.
Did you like that show?
With Bryan Cranston and,
I saw
Frankie Muniz.
I saw a couple clips of Bryan Cranston in that show, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
He's a good actor, man.
He talks about how it was crazy how, once he got famous for Breaking Bad, how much more he got noticed than for what he did in Malcolm in the Middle.
Really?
And how it, kind of tripped him out.
I heard he got paid more for doing Malcolm in the Middle, though. I don't know why.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, I think that, that definitely gets run more than Breaking Bad does. Breaking Bad episodes rely so heavily on the plot.
Well, and
it's not syndicated television.
All the AMC shows have they're super careful about the way they do their shows.
They can't just show an episode of Breaking Bad out of the middle of nowhere. They're gonna run the whole thing.
They can,
but you'd be like, why am I what the fuck? I haven't watched any Breaking Bad before, but I'm watching this episode now, and these people this girl's overdosing on heroin, and they go to this chicken restaurant. It's weird.
October 16th, Crimson Peak, which is the movie with Tom Hiddleston, written and directed by Guillermo del Toro.
And what's it about?
It looks really good.
Crimson Peep? It's about a huge blood red peep?
It's called Crimson Peak, dude. It's kind of
that's what I said, Crimson Peak.
A horror thriller type movie. It's got, more people. Guillermo del Toro loves Jessica Chastain, Charlie Hunnam. It looks good, man.
And a huge wine-colored peep. It's a horror movie about a peep that's taking over a city. Did you ever you remember in Ghostbusters when there was the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man?
Yeah.
Picture that, but a peep.
The same week the Goosebumps movie comes out.
That's actually probably going to get pretty good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, I bet. People,
maybe.
They'll probably be if it's family friendly and entertaining, it'll probably get pretty good reviews.
November 6th, the new James Bond movie, Spectre.
Which is going to be... It also ties in with the Goosebumps movie.
Yeah. Daniel Craig signed on for both. A 2-movie deal.
James Bond has to fight some of the Goosebumps characters, which is going to be a great adventure.
November 20th, it's Mockingjay Part 2, the final Hunger Games movie.
With Gordon Ramsay.
What?
He's the new character in the Hunger Games.
Gordon Ramsay, Jennifer Lawrence, and that other dude.
And Barefoot Contessa.
Liam Hemsworth.
Barefoot Contessa is going to be in that, too. It's actually... The new Hunger Games is all about cooking. It's made by the Food Network. Don't you think that would be a great name for, like, a cooking show? The Hunger Games. Don't you think? I mean, doesn't that make... That's what I thought that the movie was about. To be like, I was like, why would anyone go watch that? People... It literally has nothing... If you haven't seen it, it has nothing to do with, like, really even being hungry. December
18th, Star Wars The Force Awakens. December 25th, the Snowden movie.
Why is the Force barely awakening?
I mean, it's been slumbering, dude.
It's been asleep for some time. Since, like, the early 2000s, it's been asleep for, like, 11 years.
No, they don't mean it in that sense.
Oh. Is Hayden Christensen going to be in this one?
No.
Did Darth Vader die?
Yeah.
And
he died in Return of the Jedi. In the original trilogy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah. Maybe his ghost will still be around. Played by Norm Macdonald.
No.
And be like, hey, Luke, hey.
Norm Macdonald
I'm your father,
is death, dude.
No, he's not.
Oh,
You don't like Norm Macdonald? I think he's pretty funny.
No, he's Death on Family Guy.
Oh. He literally plays Death. Well, he's like, hey, I'm Death. His comedy style is, like, kind of deadpan. So
I like Norm.
I like him too.
He's just a weirdo.
Yeah, pretty much. There's like some videos where he says stuff that's just not funny, but it's only funny because he's the guy who's like saying it, you know? Like he was talking about that dude. Who was that guy who killed his wife that had like no legs? He was like an Olympic sprinter or something.
What?
Like that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
He had like those plastic like what's it called, like things for you know what I mean, when people like they lose their legs.
Prosthetics?
It's like the plastic prosthetic, but it's like just a, you know what I mean, like just a what am I trying to say? It's like a hook almost, but it's not really.
I know
a
what
hook,
you're talking about.
Yeah, that guy.
He has like a prosthetic leg, man. That's what you're trying to say.
He had 2 of them.
Yeah,
but he was like a sprinter, and Norm Macdonald was like, "Ah, man, I don't like that. That guy pisses me off. He has no like position running in these races because he's got no legs. I think that one of the reasons that you should be able to be a competitive like runner is having legs." And that's not very funny if anyone says that, but Norm Macdonald said it and people were laughing.
Yeah.
So, just a perfect example. Now you're laughing because you're thinking of Norm Macdonald saying it.
Yeah.
But me saying it is not funny. Anything I say is not funny.
I saw a movie this weekend.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I finally got to see The Man From U.N.C.L.E.
Which is about a family.
It was really good, man. Like, I'd give
what is
it a
it
solid
about,
7
actually?
out of 10. So, it's...
U.N.C.L.E. is an abbreviation. It's like
it's an acronym.
An acronym, right?
Yeah. It's basically this American CIA spy played by Henry Cavill, who's British. His American accent was great, by the way.
Well, he's also Superman. Superman's not like, "Oi, Batman!"
Well, and he's not from fucking... He's not a Cockney thug from South Central London. Like
Cockney thug.
But
Oi, fucker!
He was really good. Armie Hammer plays a Russian KGB agent, Ilya Kuryakin, and they have to team up to stop these other fucked up people from getting a nuke and like nuking America. It takes place. It's a period thing, so it takes place during the Cold War.
I think his name is so weird.
Who? Armie Hammer?
Armie Hammer. It's like someone, that baking soda brand called Arm & Hammer. It's like someone was like, "Dude, your name's gonna be Armie Hammer." Yeah.
I mean, you saw the Facebook movie, right? You know he was in that. He played the Winklevoss twins.
He played both of them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. But the movie's really good. My only complaint was like this. I felt the score was a little too loud. Like the music was good. The song selection was good. And a lot of people say the director, like his stuff kind of plays out like a music video. And you kind of feel that in some of the action scenes. Like it feels very much like a music video. I just felt the score was too loud. Like, at one point, I couldn't hear what the actor was saying because the music was...
The director was like,
loud.
make it louder. It's a music
Exactly.
video. They're like, sir, we're
like,
trying to make a feature film here. He's like, no, dude, don't worry about it. I do music videos. People will love this shit.
But, I mean, overall, man, it was a solid movie. It's Guy Ritchie.
You ever been to
Was the
YouTube?
director.
I get plenty of YouTube views. Guy Ritchie has made mini movies.
Yeah. I never said he hadn't.
Thought that you were implying that he's only a music video director.
No! God, I said people say that a lot of his movies, some of the scenes play out like music videos.
Kind of.
Yeah.
What other movies? He made like Snatch, I think.
Snatch, yeah.
Which is about a woman's vagina.
So yeah, go see Man from U.N.C.L.E. It's really good.
It just the name is so strange. It's based on a TV show too.
It's based on a TV show from the 60s.
The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah.
Like, but, I mean, just think about that for a second. Like, oh, the man from his uncle.
No,
Like-
from U.N.C.L.E. It's an acronym. It stands for Unified Something Command Liaison.
Who wrote that? They were like, it's going to be Uncle.
Well, I mean, someone wrote it 50 years ago.
So 50 years ago, he was like, this is a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it's a good story,
Yeah.
it's just a strange title.
Well, I mean, okay. Overall, the story and some of the characters felt fairly shallow, but I mean, it wasn't bad. Like, I enjoyed the movie.
The Man from UNICEF. I would rather watch that. That's
So-
a better title.
You want to talk some TV shits?
TV shits?
Yeah, there's a whole new channel where it's just people.
No,
taking shits.
there aren't. There's not. That doesn't exist, dude.
So CW finally dropped the first episode to their Vixen web series.
Alex watched it. I have still not watched it. Alex was fairly disappointed because it doesn't. It's a web
It's 4
series.
minutes long.
And
The first episode was 4 minutes long.
is each episode going to only be 4 minutes long?
I'll tell you what, though, the animation
It's good.
is top notch. Like Green Arrow, Flash, Vixen, they all look great to me.
Is the Atom in it too?
I mean, I don't think so. It
Is-
went by so fast, it's hard to remember. Like, I don't even know what they were trying. Like, there's no way you could even start telling a story in 4 minutes. You know?
Yeah, it's got to be like a pretty weak story, if anything. Like
Exactly.
like Vixen gets coffee.
The whole thing was her like. I don't even remember.
It seems
it
like
wasn't. It didn't. It did nothing.
Kind of
for
seems
me.
like a show like that needs to be like 30 minutes.
Nah, man, I was okay
20
with like
minutes.
a typical animated show
20 minutes.
format, 20-minute episodes. You know,
Yeah.
and especially when you hear that it's CW developing it, it's totally not what I expected.
Okay, so did you watch this online?
I watched it using the CW app on my Xbox One.
So is it actually on CW? Like, are they showing it on
No,
CW?
not on the channel. It's only on their app and online.
That's probably why.
But still,
I mean, I think that they may be like just doing this for right now and then gauging to see if people are interested, and then maybe they'll make an actual show.
or maybe they're trying to do it like Gods and Monsters, where they're going to have a short mini web series and then do an animated feature.
Why would they do that?
I don't know, man.
It
That's
makes more
all I
sense.
can guess.
It makes way more sense for them to do like another TV show. Like
It would
that's
do
just
well
animated.
if it was actual episodes, man. Like, I didn't even have the chance to like to connect to the show. You know?
You didn't have, there's no chance to like empathize with the characters or anything like that.
Yeah.
Even though you already know Green Arrow and the Flash, but Vixen is kind of a lesser known DC
But
hero.
like we know Vixen, you know, we're both kind of fans of Vixen. I
Yeah.
think she's awesome.
I think
her
Vixen's
powers
dope.
are cool.
But I think like the general person who sees it is going to be like, Vixen, whatever. Sure, her hair is weird.
her powers look good. What we saw of them, like there was one Green Arrow was chasing her on rooftops and shit, and he couldn't keep up, and he's like, "What the?" She's like, "Power of a cheetah," and all sorts of.
Why do they? Why
whatever she
is
does.
like the introduction for a lot of heroes is like, all right, so they have to perceive them as a villain. They have
Yeah.
to chase them across the like the cityscape.
And it's like, oh, you're not a villain. Like, holy shit.
we should team up because you're actually pretty chill.
Yeah,
Let's go get some shawarma. No, that's a Marvel thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope that there's like more coming there, or they have some better plans.
Speaking of Marvel, just real quick, did you see the concept art for Civil War?
No,
So-
like was Ulysses S. Grant
Ulysses S. Grant?
and yeah,
Ulysses Claw, dude. He's a villain,
and Robert E. Lee.
and he's not. He wasn't in it.
Robert E. Lee wasn't in it. He wasn't in it.
So what I thought was interesting, I wasn't talking
It's
about
the-
him.
the
I was
United
talking about
States-
Ulysses Claw.
I was talking about Ulysses from the United States, the Civil War.
So what I thought was interesting. Okay, so here's the art shows Captain America's team. It's Captain America, Falcon, Winter Soldier, this other chick who I forgot who they said she was. She's someone else. Hawkeye,
Betsy Clark.
Hawkeye, and Ant-Man. That's who's on Captain America's team. Then Iron Man's team has Natasha Romanoff. Like, Black Widow's going to be fighting against Hawkeye because Iron Man wants her to? That doesn't make sense to me. Especially since Natasha's been working with Captain America.
Is this like a 3-day-old thing that Variety magazine posted?
Yeah. So Iron Man's team, Black Widow, War Machine, Black Panther, who most people assumed was going to stay neutral.
The whole movie is just going to be about War Machine. Or no, what's
and
the
Vision,
other one?
And Vision, dude. Iron Man's team is so OP.
What's the character that you said that is in every Marvel movie?
What?
That's not War Machine. It's the
Falcon.
Falcon, yeah.
Yeah.
Whose team is he on?
He's on Captain America's team. Because that's his friend, you know?
Yeah. The whole movie's going to be about Falcon.
And, I mean, I guess we're assuming Spider-Man's going to be on Iron Man's team, because that's how it is in the comics, but we don't know.
I see the artwork now.
So do you see the chick to Captain America's right? I have no idea who that chick is.
That's the chick from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, it's not. I thought the same thing, but it is not. It's not Bobby Morse.
You sure?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm positive.
Looks
100%.
a lot like her.
I looked it up. I found out who it was. All this stuff was from D23, which is a Disney convention.
Yeah.
Where, have you heard about what they're doing now? Like Disney has really unified everything. So D23 is like going to be their news source for releases about
Marvel and
Marvel,
Star
Wars, and everything. So I think that's really smart.
It gives you more incentive to go there. But where is Spider-Man?
He's not. I don't think they're showing him yet.
But they're showing the other dude?
Which dude? Black Panther?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, a lot of people thought that was weird because they were expecting Black Panther to be a neutral party. So for those of you who don't know, Black Panther he's kind of important in the Marvel universe. They touch on it in Age of Ultron, like the vibranium, you know, what Captain America's shield is made out of. All that metal is mined out of one country. And Black Panther is the leader of that country. That he's like the president of that
What's
country.
up with Scarlet Witch? Why don't we see Scarlet Witch anywhere?
And whose team would she be on? Like, I think she'd be on Iron Man's team,
me
too.
too.
But then that is a stacked fucking team.
What's going on in the background of Captain America's thing? There's like a thing flying around. Do you see that?
Yeah, I guess it's Falcon's jetpack or some shit, I don't know.
Falcon's jetpack is flying around behind him? That seems kind of like not responsible, you know?
Falcon, Sharon Carter. It's Peggy Carter's daughter. That's who that chick is, standing next to Captain
Where's
America.
Ant-Man?
He's right on top of Hawkeye's shoulder. he's all little up there.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I can see him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you'd never notice. Like, Paul Rudd is getting the shit end of the stick right there.
I mean, I didn't notice either until I read the lineup, and I had to go, where's Ant-Man?
So, there's... what's the other character from Ant-Man? Yellow Jacket, or is it Wasp?
Yeah, Yellow Jacket. Oh, you mean who Hope is going to play now?
Yeah.
It's
so
Wasp.
she's not going to be in any of these movies. Like, they're still going to have to tell her origin story somehow in the next one. Or
Yeah, because...
They're training her. It's going to be...
she's already has training.
Well, the next Ant-Man... Yeah, she trained Ant-Man. The next Ant-Man movie is going to come out when, though?
Probably 4 years, 5 years.
So what... And, like, they're going to be like, it took her 5 years to put the suit on.
I mean...
Michael Douglas will be dead by then.
I'm not even really concerned with that. I'm more concerned of, you know...
You think Michael Douglas will be alive in 5 years?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
He's young.
How old is he? He's like 70.
He's in his 70s. He's got a while to go.
You never know, man.
Dude, fucking what's his name? Christopher Lee was in movies until he was like 90.
Dude, not everyone has the constitution that Christopher Lee had.
Max von Sydow is the narrator in the new Star Wars movie, and he's another character, and he's going to be in Game of Thrones, and he's almost 90.
Who played Chewbacca? Peter Mayhew.
He's not that old. He's just.
But he's
got
like a lot of
medical
physical problems. But didn't they like fix his he can walk again now?
I don't know.
He can walk and he can do it pretty well.
Yeah.
The other dude who played like R2-D2.
He passed away. Yeah.
He did pass away.
Yeah.
How old was he?
He was younger.
80 something.
Was he really?
Yeah.
He was that old.
Like 83.
Really?
Yeah. He made it quite a ways. So he's not gonna. The R2 is not gonna be in this new movie.
Yeah, of course he is.
But not played by the same person.
I mean,
not that it really matters.
It doesn't.
Like he didn't. It's not like he was voiced.
It mattered a lot more back then when practical effects are like all they had to rely on. But nowadays,
it's gonna be CG.
Most of the time, R2 is CG.
What about C-3PO?
Anthony Daniels. Yeah,
he's gonna be in the new one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wonder, like, a lot of people have said that Chewbacca in this new movie is just going to be, like, no more than, like, an afterthought. Like, just there for...
I hope not, man. Like, before they got rid of the canon, Chewbacca's a badass, alright? Do you know what it took to kill Chewbacca in the expanded universe?
Why did they kill Chewbacca?
Dude, it took a moon hitting the planet that he was on for Chewbacca to die.
Why did they kill Chewbacca?
He died in one of the books that took place after, but that's no longer canon. So,
Harrison Ford probably won't play a huge part either.
I saw something the other day.
He broke his leg.
It was called Retire of the Jedi instead of Return of the Jedi, and it was like this characterization of both Chewbacca and Han Solo, like, just really old. Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to continue being in, like, the movies, too.
Well, apparently they're making a Han Solo movie.
But it's going to be probably him when he was younger. Which is kind of something that we don't need, because I like Harrison Ford, like...
I think it could be good, but the casting needs to be really well thought out. Like, who is going to play young Han Solo?
Keanu Reeves. I'm not serious about that. Ben Affleck. Matt Damon.
No.
It's like none of these guys are really that young.
None of
either.
them will work.
I'm not really that familiar with... how about Stephen Amell? Be a young Han Solo. He doesn't have the time.
Dude, sometimes okay, so Stephen Amell, he does a great job as Arrow, right? He's not a terrible actor. But he does certain things on camera that bother me.
Well, like all those CW actors do, though.
But his
like Sam and Dean.
He has some of the worst ones. Like when he's talking to another character, he looks away sometimes, and I'm not sure whether he's looking at the camera because he's a douchebag, or he's looking somewhere else trying to make it seem like his character is in serious thought. But it drives me batshit crazy because he's never making eye contact with the other characters. It feels fake.
What about when Jared Padalecki looks at the camera straight on and just swallows? he's in such deep thought, and it's such a serious situation that he's like Dean. And Dean's like, "Come on, Sammy. Get your shit." There's a lot of time spent in that show where they're just looking directly into the cameras.
Well, it's at least that they're looking at each other there in those shots, right? The shots in Arrow, he's looking somewhere else.
He's looking at the floor.
I swear, man.
I never really noticed that.
Next time you watch Arrow, just try and notice it.
I saw some people were talking about the Flash recently, and they were asking about the Flash's Rogues Gallery. They were saying, this one guy was like, I don't know what's going on in the second season. I haven't kept up with it since the first. It was the second season hasn't even started yet. But a lot of people were asking about, they were saying so what's the deal with Hunter Zolomon? I hope Hunter Zolomon is way more powerful than Reverse Flash, but that kind of doesn't make sense. He might be able to be faster or something, but the only reason that Professor Zoom is fast is because he has the ability to slow everything else down.
Yeah.
But Reverse Flash at one point, Thawne, and especially, this guy made this reference to this, and especially in the book that I just read, which is the lead up to Flashpoint in Brightest Day. Reverse Flash is like seriously one of the most OP characters in the entire DC universe. Like he's wicked fast, and like you can barely even see him because he's moving so fast all the time, which the show kind of did a good job with. Like
he's splitting himself.
He puts the show on or the suit on, and he's always moving. You know. But I think that I'd like to see Reverse Flash come back again, even more OP, like you know what I mean, like fucking with. Like, not in this season, but...
I feel like he felt so OP because Barry was so underpowered, you know? Like, he doesn't... The Barry of the Flash TV show doesn't fully realize how powerful he is.
But I'm saying, like, it took only three characters and not even main Justice Leaguers to, like, take down Reverse Flash in this last season. But it's still the first season, like...
But if Flash was as powerful as he could be, he could have done it himself.
Dude, but Reverse Flash is seriously like super OP. Like he could give the entire Justice League a run for their money, like all of them.
Yeah,
like he's that powerful. We're not going to see any more Reverse Flash. Someone had mentioned like they were like, oh well, dude, I hope that Barry recruits Reverse Flash to fight Professor Zoom, and I was like, that's never gonna happen, dude. Like,
and that's dumb.
Yeah, it's like, super dumb.
Okay, either way, so now they're introducing Wally West. Like, I would love it if they could introduce the third Reverse Flash. You know, who is like if they delved into like Joe's past and he had another son. Who's locked up in a mental ward? Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's locked up in a mental ward or just in prison. And he also becomes Reverse Flash.
But Joe never talks about it?
Yeah. Dude, that would be... I don't know. I think that would be good.
Like, the entire first season, Joe's been like, let's get some pizza and beer, Barry. But he's, like, thinking in the back of his head about his poor locked-up son who's, like...
Well, I guess that doesn't kind of make sense. Because in the comics, Iris knows about him. They're, like, the same age, you know? So I guess it couldn't really work. But...
Well, Barry and Iris's daughter, I think, become the new Impulse, too. But I think that having two Reverse Flashes in the same thing, like... Oh, it would be such a
It works
mess.
in the comics because it's like it's been a long ass time, you know. So like,
but all of the characters are really established,
yeah.
You know, and like I don't think that. I think that Thawne like just fucking hates everyone. Like he has no affiliation to Professor Zoom really, or like no like. There's no like teamship there, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
you know?
No, definitely.
Like he's like, no, fuck you, dude. Like dude. Okay, so Thawne is just so much faster. Like his whole thing is about, I don't know. They both have different MOs. So like Professor Zoom has an MO of like, Barry, you could be better. Like, you know, you could be like you screwed up. Like you could be, you know. And then like, what's it called? Reverse Flash is always like about just fucking with Barry's life. But someone had asked, they were like,
hates him.
Yeah, he hates Barry. But someone had asked, they were like, well, why doesn't Reverse Flash, since he's so OP, like destroy the Justice League or try to do something like that? And it's because he's got like his own MO, you know, like he just wants to fuck with Barry.
And he's from the future where like most of the Justice League are dead.
Well, he
doesn't really care.
The Reverse Flash has like more of a personal relationship. It's more of a personal like he
cares only about
destroying Barry's life. He doesn't care about Batman or Superman or any of that shit. Gorilla Grodd is his other like major rogue.
Yeah.
Which I'd like to see, hopefully, some serious Gorilla Grodd action in this next one. Maybe he's getting smarter. Yeah. You know, but that remains to be seen. This is like going to be the defining season, I think, for the Flash so far, because if they can't just keep like rolling on, they're gonna have to seriously step it up.
Yeah. If
it sucks, I'm gonna be like, God, dude.
So, let's talk about this. I watched the series premiere for Fear the Walking Dead.
I did too.
You didn't like it?
I watched it too. No, I liked it. It was cool, but I wasn't like... You said that it was better than the original Walking Dead.
Easily.
No,
than the pilot of the original Walking Dead.
Not
the entire show.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that the characters are kind of shallow in this, and it's like hard to... I feel like it's kind of hard to like them.
I feel the exact opposite. Either way, it set an all-time cable ratings premiere record, the highest premiere of any television show ever.
Well, the reason for that is because so many people love The Walking Dead, too. But the reason that I have, like, a problem, kind of, with Fear the Walking Dead is just the show's premise. I didn't realize that it was going to be like, you know, that they're like starting out like a year before and all this. So like the characters from that show will probably never meet Rick
I'm okay
Grimes
with
or
that.
Yeah, and that's fine. I don't care about that, but I would have liked to see more like I mean, there's no like logic behind that. Like seeing The Walking Dead just happening on the West Coast, it would kind of lead to like a bland show. But I kind of wanted to see some more Walking Dead action. I'm just ready for The Walking Dead to come back.
Well, I think this show
It's a different thing.
It's going to be moving a lot slower than The Walking Dead is what I feel, because they can't catch up to the events of the show. You know,
they won't. But we're going. They said that the showrunner said that we might see some like Easter eggs of the other characters. Like they don't know when or how it's going to happen. But the first season, we're not really even going to see very much Walker action.
I'm okay. This whole episode was really tense for me. Like
really,
so the kid who's like the drug addict,
he loves heroin.
I felt like he was the best actor by far, man.
A lot of people were like, he's a young Johnny Depp.
Dude, his performance was really good, and that believable too. Like, I don't know, man.
I thought it was okay.
I thought it was really good.
I thought the beginning, like the way it started out, was really strong, and I was like, "Oh shit, all right!" Like they're fucking jumping right in, but then it's like you're in a hospital bed, son.
But that shit's fucked up too, because now like
no one believes him.
His mental issues are kind of like, he's like, am I crazy? I'm not sure if I'm crazy.
Well, now we know that he's not.
Well, we knew the whole time he wasn't crazy.
Well, I mean, now everyone else, his parents know, but maybe other people will think that they're just all crazy or something like that. I don't know, but
what about that moment with the guy in the school, like when she's walking up behind him?
That everyone's talking about that. The principal, and you all thought everyone thought the principal was like
gonna be turned. Yeah.
I kind of wish he was.
But the tension was enough to
it's gonna make The Walking Dead so much more gratifying when there's like actual walkers and they just like shoot him in the head. I love that shit.
Yeah, it is. Or like when someone just stabs a walker in the head,
dude. Or Michonne like chops off their like craniums. Yeah, you know what I mean?
With like one smooth stroke.
Like I'm all about The Walking Dead, man. Yeah. Like this show. I think I don't hate it, but I just feel like it's going to be slow. This first season is going to be really slow, and that's what they're intending for it to be. But I like all of the violence and like it's gratuitous and fucking awesome.
I agree with you 100%.
I can't wait till this show is like on the level of where The Walking Dead is at, but it's on the West Coast and there's like just a different environment, because I'm so The one thing I'm sick of with The Walking Dead is they never made it out of Georgia.
Yeah. They're in Virginia now.
They went to D.C., didn't they?
They were trying to go to D.C.
Didn't they get there?
I think, no, they gave up because, what's his name, Eugene was lying.
I thought that they were like, they could see the Capitol at one point.
Yeah, because they're in Virginia.
Oh, the Virginia Capitol?
No, what? Dude, all those
Oh,
states,
they could see
the state of Virginia is tiny, man.
So they could see the capital of DC from Virginia.
We don't get it because we live in Texas, you know, and
Texas is big.
It's a huge state, so everything's so spread out. But when you're in Virginia, you can see the capital.
I can't imagine just being like, dude, that's Virginia right there. Like
that's Washington D.C. Yeah. That's Delaware.
Like I'm just standing on a hill looking at like different cities. Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't imagine that. You can't even stand on a hill here and like spit, like, you know, see like any place. Like you could spit somewhere and then you couldn't see it. You know what I mean? That makes no sense. None of that made any sense. Thanks, guys, for listening so far.
Let's talk about this. So I want to retract a statement I made at the beginning of the summer.
Uh-oh.
I was saying I had seen the trailers for the show Mr.Robot, and I thought the trailers looked incredibly stupid, and I felt like it wasn't going to be a good show.
I don't even know what that show is. I still don't know. Who's in it?
You know Christian Slater? It's mostly unknowns, but they do a great job.
Ben Affleck?
Christian Slater, who was like, he did a bunch of shit, man.
I'm looking it up.
And the other lead is Rami Malek, who you've seen Night at the Museum, right?
What?
Have you seen Night at the Museum?
Yes.
The first one. Okay, so you know Akhman Ra?
No.
The Egyptian dude at the end.
I don't remember the movie very well, but I did see it.
That's Rami Malek. But the show is about this like isolated hacker dude who works for a cybersecurity company, and he's very antisocial. He has trouble talking to people and whatnot, and he's got addiction problems. But but the show is based around him trying to find justice and like choices, but right and wrong, and like this company called Evil Corporation or E Corporation.
Ooh, this is a techno thriller.
Either way, man, like he's narrating the show, and it's like it's really creepy because at one point he says to himself like, "Am I schizophrenic? I don't know what the fuck is going on." But he's like,
it seems to be a recurring thing with you liking people with mental illnesses.
What I'm saying,
like,
it makes for interesting TV, man.
You're like, dude, this guy has like schizophrenia. The other dude's like, dude, am I on heroin? Or like, am I not on heroin?
Well, what I'm trying to say is it's not just your fucking basic run-of-the-mill television. Like,
the basic bottom line is if you want to make great TV these days, give a character like a mental illness, but he doesn't know if he has one. Do I have an eating disorder? Or do I scratch my head too much?
okay.
Do I have narcolepsy? Do I fall asleep a lot?
Great segment.
I don't know.
I'm sure people are loving it. Everyone's tuned out now. They're like, fuck this shit, I'm leaving. So, the season finale got postponed because it had eerie similarities to the shooting this week.
What?
Yeah.
There was a shooting this week?
Yeah. Terrible.
Didn't know that.
A news anchor and a camera person were shot dead on camera.
What?
Some really fucked up shit.
When?
Our hearts go out to those people. That was earlier this week. You really haven't seen that? Oh.
I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. It's bad news, man.
But the season finale of Mr. Robot was postponed because it had eerie similarities to the shooting.
That's crazy. I did read, though, today, actually, and I had no idea why this was. I didn't look into it or anything, but they said that America has more shootings, like, they have, like, more than one shooting every day now. Or a mass shooting or something like that, which is crazy. I was like, how is that even a thing? Like, school shootings or some shit. I just don't know what's been going on. That sucks, though. That's really shitty.
Yeah.
So they postponed the show. What about Blunt Talk? There hasn't been another episode of Blunt Talk.
The one they aired this week was the second one we've already seen. But I recommend it, man. You should watch Mr. Robot. Watch Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto, Domo.
Dun, 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 dun.
You should definitely watch it. I was surprised within the first, 10 minutes of the pilot. I was like, okay, I see. I will definitely like this show.
Okay, I see. What channel is that on?
It's on USA. It comes on after Suits. Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch any more Suits until the season's over, and I'm just gonna finish.
The mid-season is over. The season, the second half isn't gonna be for months.
For months?
Yeah.
What's going on? Does Jessica
what?
She's not going to allow them to shoot more Suits?
So I watched the mid-season finale of Suits. It was really good. I won't spoil anything or say anything because you haven't watched it. But if you're not watching Suits, I'm going to recommend it again.
For the 50th time.
We've recommended it so many times.
Well, Suits is a good show. I definitely don't think that Suits is for everybody though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just a well done show.
It's like a steak.
It's really polished.
You know what I'm ready for? I'm ready for more Marco Polo.
That's gonna be a while.
It's supposed to be November.
Is that when we got the first season? November of last year?
I think it was November, or December. But I was surprised. I was looking into it because I really enjoyed Marco Polo a lot, and
Me too.
It got abysmal ratings from everybody.
Really?
Yeah.
It has an 8.1 on IMDb.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at
fairly high.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Dude, I don't look at Rotten Tomatoes for TV. It doesn't make sense to.
People were like, "This is a boring show that doesn't have it has all of this production value, but no good writing." I thought that the writing was really good.
Okay, I think maybe those people they're not able to get into a period drama.
The first episode of Marco Polo is pretty slow, but then it gets a lot better as the season goes on.
I'd say the first 3 or 4 episodes were kind of slow, before he really gets settled in to living.
The dude who plays Marco Polo, I think, was kind of getting a grasp of the role too at the same time. I don't know. It's good.
agree, man.
I feel like the cinematography is great too.
December. So we get the second season in December.
That show is super, super expensive to make as well. It was like a $90 million show.
It cost more to make than Daredevil?
It was super, super expensive.
Because Daredevil, they spent $50 million on that season.
It's wicked. It was a wicked expensive
Wow.
show. It was supposed to be on Stars, I think, originally. And Stars was like, we don't have the money to finish this or something rather, so Netflix ended up picking it up. And paying them back or something rather, buying the rights to it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, $90 million, dude.
Well, I mean,
That's crazy.
but think about dude, Daredevil compared to Marco Polo. Like Marco Polo has a lot of Eastern backdrops and
you have to do, and all their
the armies,
the
and
costumes and everything can
it's
get
kind
really
of like
expensive.
almost Game of Thrones esque. Like as far as Game of Thrones costs what, 150 million?
100 million.
100, yeah. So I mean, they spend a lot of money, and then the CG Marco Polo is definitely trying for something like Game of Thrones. The only thing is they don't have George R.R. Martin. Which is kind of a good thing, though, because it's Game of Thrones, but lighthearted and more adventurous.
But I don't think it's fair to compare a story about Marco Polo to Game of Thrones. Like, Game of Thrones is a fantasy novel that, it first started in 1999.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, Marco Polo started in, 1700.
But either
and this
way,
is a fantasy story as well. It's not like a lot of this shit didn't really happen.
But it's more based in history, whereas Game of Thrones is based on the imagination of George R.R. Martin.
How do we know that isn't history in some dimension?
George R.R. Martin just imagined Kublai Khan and all that shit.
Kublai Khan is from fucking Marco Polo.
Exactly.
Oh,
that's the point I was trying to make.
Genghis,
my grandfather Genghis.
I like Kublai Khan.
Yeah.
Who plays him? Benedict Wong.
Yeah, he's great.
He is good.
All the actors were great in that show.
At one point, that show has a serious turning point too, where they kind of turn against Marco Polo.
Yeah.
And it gets really serious. Like people are gonna die or some shit like that. At the very beginning, you see all these people like spiked up. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
There was
because Kublai destroyed that entire village.
Well, he was a brutal warlord,
of
you
course.
know. But you get to see kind of a different side of him. And then who was his wife? He's like, my wife.
She was also raised on the board, the bow and the horse.
The bow and the horse. And
when she shoots the chick, that was one of my favorite moments when you think the camera turns back and you think it's Kublai who shot the arrow, but it was his wife.
Yeah, that was
I love
badass.
that shit.
That show has a lot of Tuvan and Mongolian throat singing too.
It's awesome.
And I recently got into that again. I think there's a lot of music from Hunhur too in that show, which is awesome. I mean, just a lot of good aspects to it.
Yeah.
When is Daredevil coming back? Daredevil's coming back next year, right?
April next year.
Okay, so that's quite a ways away. So what's the other Netflix show that they're going to do that's Marvel? Oh, a.k.a. Jessica Jones.
A.k.a. Jessica Jones, Iron Fist. Dude, Iron Fist is a badass, man.
What's Iron Fist's story?
He's a martial artist, but he becomes a superhero, and he's fairly powerful. I don't know, is Zac Efron still going to play Iron Fist?
He's real busy DJing now.
Did you ever see Neighbors? Have we talked about Neighbors?
Yeah, many times.
Good movie.
But he's real busy doing this DJ thing.
We Are Your Friends? No, that already came out yesterday.
Yeah, but he's touring.
Oh, now he's gonna be a real DJ.
He's been touring with Mac J.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really weird.
So does he keep it at 128 BPM at all times? Dude?
I guess. I don't know.
Dude. It's a solution to getting
the
crowd bumping.
This is a really kind of funny topic too. Is there's so many fucking people are becoming DJs, and especially in the porn community,
Really?
It's unbelievable. I stumbled across some Twitter page, and it was this, I forget which porn star it was, but it's catch me DJing at this club on Friday with one of my boys from Adventure Club, and I was like, what the fuck? Why how did this become? I mean, look, everyone has a right to be, in the scene, and I'm glad that you guys are getting shows and shit. It's just weird. I was like, dude, what the okay, and there's this porn star Lupe Fuentes from back in the day who is she used to be called Little Lupe, who's now they're like, oh, she's a superstar DJ producer, and it's like, what the fuck?
Well,
like,
isn't it there that chick who still like she wears nipple tassels while she DJs?
No, that's like that woman is a joke. That's not like that chick is like a woman who like DJs in Juarez.
She's a porn star DJ though.
Her name is DJ Porn Star.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought DJ Porn Star was the dude who wears like just a skimpy thong.
Oh, maybe that you're right. Yeah, I don't know, but I know who you're thinking about. She wears like nipple tassels and like a bikini, but like dude, okay, well, Sasha Grey was like the first porn star to actually do this, and she's actually like a pretty good fucking DJ, but she doesn't like take it seriously either. She's not like touring, but and then there's another one. I can't remember. There are so many porn star DJs though, and it's just gonna get overrun soon. And now Zac Efron's like, I'm gonna DJ, dude. Krayshawn, the other day I saw Krayshawn was like, catch me doing a vocal and exclusive DJ set at this club. It's like, why do I need to see Krayshawn DJ?
Well, and you know what's funny?
Shaq is a DJ?
You know what's funny is people like Kid Rock get shit. Kid Rock's been a DJ since before he was ever Kid Rock.
Okay, and I don't know if did you see the video of Kid Rock fucking killing it?
Dude, he's
super
he's
sick.
He's a turntablist, man, and he's been for a long time.
But he kind of was on those albums, on his first album too, like, and then on American Badass, he like did some stuff in his tracks where he was actually scratching, and no one really... I don't think anyone really thought about it was him doing it.
But everyone's like, "Oh, come on, Kid Rock's a DJ now." It's like, no, Kid Rock has been a DJ. These other people are DJs now.
Well, I mean, like, I just don't need to see Shaq DJing.
What's his DJ Diesel?
DJ Diesel, he's like exclusive trap DJ set. And now soon we're going to be hearing like shitty DJ sets all over the place, like exclusive DJ set on BPM with DJ Diesel. Yo, I'm Shaq. What's up? Oh, I'm DJ Diesel. What's good? Here we go. We're going to throw in some trap right now from Loud Puck. Bam. It's going to be sick, dude. I wonder who he actually plays. Like, probably a lot of like really mainstream stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I mean, what if Shaq like Shaq I think had a single a while back where he was like rapping and it was not good at all.
Really?
Yeah, it was like bad. Like Kobe definitely had a single a while back that was just fucking abysmal. But I mean, well, now you have that level of success, you can kind of do whatever you want.
Well, now LeBron James is trying to be a movie and TV star. He's getting his own TV show. And it's not a reality TV show.
Wait, wasn't
scripted television?
Wasn't LeBron in that other show, that
Trainwreck.
movie though? Yeah. Wasn't he like pretty good in that? People said that.
I didn't see it. You saw it.
I never saw it.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I just know that John Cena was in it. Who I would like to see in his own TV show.
Yeah.
And his name is John Cena.
So,
dun, da, da, da.
Let's talk about this. The New York Police Department has reached out to Disney and asked them to, stop people from dressing up like Marvel and Disney characters in Times Square.
Well, if we, if you've ever been to Times Square, you know that there are a ton of people that dress up as
also by
fictional characters.
Grauman's Chinese Theater in LA too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And so the point is, a lot of these people aren't good people, nor are they like representative of what the characters they're representing should be like.
Yeah,
they're like
just trying to make money.
They're panhandling and trying to hustle you for money. And outside, like in Times Square, there's a lot of topless women as well that'll like charge you money for a photo with them. So the reason, like, there have been a bunch of incidents that have happened recently in Times Square where a family it was a mother and her child took a photo with Cookie Monster and then refused to pay him, so he knocked over a toddler.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and it's like Cookie Monster, like me want money, like you know.
So Disney got back to them and said they're not doing anything really. There's nothing really they can do, I guess, unless they set up like the Disney police to enforce cosplay.
Well, what they've been trying to do is they've been trying to set up a superhero registry.
Exactly.
So they've essentially means like whoever is going to play Spider-Man, you have to register as Spider-Man, and people will know who you are.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like...
you know what would be awesome? Is
Civil War.
On the day Captain America's Civil War comes out, they sign a bill in the state of New York to legalize the Superhero Registration Act.
It kind of should be that way in LA too, though, because I don't know. What if someone like that like steals your wallet?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it was Spider-Man. You know?
And they're like, what?
They're like, oh yeah, that's Jose. Like he's been playing Spider-Man down there for like
but,
10 years.
But then can there only be
got a
one
crack
person
problem.
registered as Spider-Man?
No, for sure, no. There could be different people,
Multiples.
but it would give you.
It would narrow it down.
For sure. It would give, I mean, you're like, okay, there's only 10 people playing Spider-Man. We're going to reach out to 10 people. The NYPD can definitely do that.
Yeah.
It would probably save them some time from like shooting people. They shot some other people recently.
Well, I mean, there's some fucked up. Did you hear about the officer who let someone assault him because he didn't want to lose his job?
What?
He got his ass handed to him.
He let someone assault him.
Yeah, he had his weapon up and he was trying to protect himself, but he decided to just lay down and take it.
Why?
And they beat the shit out of him. He had like 10 different broken bones. Is that coming from here?
What is that? What was that?
Oh, it's this video attached to this article about the superhero stuff.
That was pretty tight. I thought you were soundboarding over there.
What was I saying?
You were saying that this cop got the shit kicked out of him.
Oh yeah, he didn't want to be accused of
unnecessary
of racism
force
or unnecessary force, so he just laid down and took it.
Okay, that's ridiculous though. Like sometimes you need to fucking, you need to hold your ground, especially if it's like a super violent person. You know what I mean? Like this guy's like, I got a crowbar, motherfucker. I'm gonna fuck you up. Yeah. And you're like, dude, listen, I'm not a racist. Just do your worst. Just nothing in the face, man.
Yeah, and he got fucked up, dude.
So he's probably now in the hospital.
There was an incident where a cop got beat to death too. Another cop.
Or I mean, there have been several incidents where the cops have beat people to death as well.
Oh yeah.
So it kind of goes both ways. I've been surprised to see there's like stuff kind of still happening in Ferguson.
Yeah.
Like on and off, which is really like that's a place where I would not want. That's probably like my least desirable city to live in. You'd be like, holy shit, it's happening again.
The people in Detroit are rejoicing. They're like, oh, people aren't going to be so worried about coming to Detroit now.
Really?
Well, Detroit used to be like one of the most
right.
Where
is Ferguson?
Missouri.
Okay, yeah. So and Detroit's in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So So at the risk of talking about kind of a touchy subject, did you hear about this? What is the All Lives Matter thing? There's like an All Lives Matter movement that's going on. I think tomorrow, which is the day that this podcast comes out. Did you hear anything about that?
I mean, All Lives Matter is just basically opposing saying white lives or black lives matter. It's not about color. It's about everyone.
I just saw Krayshawn saying that All Lives Matter is bullshit on Twitter.
Really?
She was saying that Black Lives Matter is the only thing that matters.
Well, so, I mean, that's slightly racist too. Right?
I guess so, but I think that I don't have any like opinion on any of this stuff because I haven't heard enough about it. But I feel like All Lives Matter kind of makes more sense. Like every human life kind of matters.
So like it's the same thing with modern feminism, right?
Dude, don't trigger me.
Modern feminism is pretty much sexism. I'm sorry, but if you don't truly believe in equality, you're a sexist. You're not a feminist. But it's like the same thing with Black Lives Matter. If only Black Lives matter to you, you might be a racist. If only white lives matter to you, you might be a racist. Like there's no
only animal life matters to me.
There's no black and white. There's only gray, right? Our world is filled with fucking grays, and people just refuse to accept that. And is
that a racist statement? I don't know any gray people.
Care. And, well, it's like the same thing with like religious freedom too.
Do you know any gray people?
I feel like people in this country think that religious freedom means you can persecute people religiously. That doesn't mean religious freedom. That's religious persecution.
So there was some kind of thing surrounding that. I think as far as like atheism goes, or no. It was in opposition of same-sex marriage, and they did it in front of a statue of George Washington, who was a man who like fought for people, to escape from what's it called, persecution and of segregation and all kinds of bullshit like that. Inequality and whatnot. That's why this nation was started.
Well, mainly religious persecution.
Right. But
because
still, I mean,
the British Empire didn't want people.
it was a
worshiping
religious
any other way than they thought was right.
It was a religious like group that was going against same-sex marriage, but they did it right in front of a statue of George Washington, so people were like he'd be turning in his grave, you know.
Well, I mean, look at all this. Did you see what happened at the University of Texas at Austin today?
No.
Where they've removed a bunch of statues, and it's like these statues are offensive or racist.
What?
No, those statues are depicting history.
Which statues did they remove?
I don't remember, man, but
Did they remove the one of Han Solo?
Either way, like if you're trying to erase something from history, like that's just as bad as whatever you're trying to fucking erase. Like,
well, that's like Holocaust denial.
Exactly, man.
Like, no, that never happened. Like, yes, people died.
Well, yeah, I mean, ask anyone in Iran or Palestine, they'll probably tell you that the Holocaust didn't happen.
Why?
Because of religious persecution
in
against Jewish people, and vice versa. There are plenty of people on the other side who feel strongly about Muslims in that part of the world. You know,
some people probably deny that Jared was a pedophile.
Well, I mean, that's why the Gaza Strip is one of the most divisive places on the planet Earth. You know,
because they've accepted Jared.
No, there's people who grew up on opposite sides of a wall who may have become friends. But they still grew up on opposite sides of a wall of two countries that are both trying to wipe each other off the map.
It's The Fox and the Hound.
Well,
did you ever watch that movie?
Fox and the Fox.
No, what? Did you ever? Okay, all right. Did you ever watch that movie, The Fox and the Hound?
No.
The Disney one?
No.
That was kind of. It was like, well, we're from different They were friends.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're from different cultures, though. We can't be friends. We eat each other.
Yeah.
And it was a sad movie because people couldn't be friends, or dogs can't be friends.
Very sad.
Did you see the? There was like a clip about. Have you heard of Coco the gorilla?
Yeah.
So Robin Williams visited Coco the gorilla, and they made friends. And Coco was like, when she heard about Robin Williams' death, she made the sign for cry, and she was somber for the rest of the day. But people have been saying they think that that's bullshit. Because Coco's sign language has been invented by her handlers or whatever.
So she could be saying anything.
She could be just a somber gorilla. That's what a lot of people have said. But someone also commented, I'm a sign language interpreter, and I deal with a lot of deaf people. I deal with a lot of different people. And the sign that she made for cry was exactly the sign that a lot of people make. So.
There was also this thing on Reddit the other day where this guy he posted a video of him and his cat, and he's deaf. And his cat is apparently aware of it, so the cat has learned to sign, a couple things. And, if the cat is trying to get his attention, he'll come up and, tap him on the arm because he knows he can't hear.
Yeah.
So, it's possible for these animals to learn stuff like that. I saw another one where an orangutan, a woman was on the other side of the glass, and she was, showing her pregnant belly to the orangutan. And the orangutan came up and was kissed the glass and was like... You know, it had maternal instincts. You could tell it understood what was going on.
Maybe I think that the bottom line is maybe language transcends what's it called, species barriers
and speech in general, I think,
or communication.
Yeah,
just communication in general. We can communicate with some animals, but why I don't know. I guess some animals are just they just get rowdy. Some animals would not want... Some animals would not want to... Some animals
just getting rowdy?
They just wouldn't want to hang out in, Ferguson. You know... You know what I'm saying? The same way, if we went to the jungle, there's got to be crazy animals, and there's got to be some that are, pretty chill, too.
I mean,
accustomed to human beings.
There's, if, the rhinos are marching on the hippopotamuses, there's differences there.
The rhinos come marching one by one. I saw a video of an elephant trying to wake up a sleeping dog, and it was so uneventful. It was a 3-minute long episode, 3-minute long video of an elephant rubbing a dog with its trunk and blowing dirt on it.
Yeah.
And the dog would just roll over and go ah, and just go back to sleep.
Well, I saw one where this cat was fucking with an owl.
I think I've seen that.
The cat was just trying to play with this owl, and the owl is like, "What the fuck, man? I don't get it. Leave me alone."
Some viral videos.
Well, that's our show.
Good old viral videos.
Before we start plugging shit, the track that you heard before and that you're gonna hear after the plugs is Dave All the Rave LSD Oscar Green remix. Each week we're gonna preview a new remix off the 2 EPs. So, keep your ears
open.
peeled
there you
for
go.
that. If you
can find
enjoyed
them
the
on
show,
Beatport.
please leave us a review on iTunes. We'll make sure to read it out on the show. If you want to tweet us, don't forget we'll use your comments on the show. Tweet us at Macro Records. Use the hashtag the Macrocast so we know you're talking about the show. And that's pretty much it. You got some stuff to plug?
Drop a like for us on Facebook, too, if you get a chance.
Facebook.com/the Macrocast.
I am Downlow'd. That's DOWNLOW''D. You can find more information about me at Facebook.com/official download. Find my music at SoundCloud.com/download. And tweet me at Downlow'd here. Downlow'd here. And if you have Instagram, hit me up on Instagram at Downlow'ds. You can check out all the zany, crazy shit that I post there. If you have a chance, I am now. I had lied to you before, or I was just incorrect. I'm actually in the September issues of DJ Mag. So if you're in the United States, go out and pick up a copy. It's the one with Thomas Gold on the cover. Or if you're in the UK, I don't know who's on the cover of that, but I'm also in that issue. So if you get a chance, can you go and drop or include me in your top 5 DJs, or drop a vote for me in the top 100 DJs? That's djmag.com, top 100 DJs. And just include Downlow'd in there with the other 4 DJs, or you could just put download. Top 5 DJs in the world. Download. Thanks for listening, guys.
See you next week.
Uncontrollable. Then it was